After last week's episode demonstrated what the show can do when it fully focuses on a certain character, I was really looking forward to what the show would do next. And based on the title of this episode, this is going to be yet another character-focused episode, this time focusing on Chase, so let's go ahead and take a look at it and see if it lives up to the standards of the last episode. This is episode 5, Breaking Black. The episode opens at the restaurant where Chase isn't paying attention to his grill duties and ends up setting the kitchen on fire. The other Rangers and Miss Morgan yell at Chase for his carelessness, so Chase promises to pay more attention before he sees a fortune teller he recognizes named Moana enter the restaurant. Chase says hi to Moana before she tells Chase that she needs his help, and Chase asks what's up. Moana says she had a vision that someone was going to steal from her, and Chase tells the others that Moana is a fortune teller from New Zealand. Chase asks Moana why she didn't go to the police, but Moana says they would think she was crazy, adding that Chase is the only one who can help her since he has special strengths. Chase agrees to help, so Moana takes Chase to her shop so he can guard it, saying she will be back the next day. After a montage of Chase goofing off at the shop, he falls asleep just as a monster called Spellbinder walks in to steal a special pendant. Chase wakes up as the monster attaches the pendant to itself and blasts Chase before running off. Chase pursues the monster, noticing that something's wrong with him, but he's able to shake it off once he gets on his skateboard. Chase morphs on his skateboard and follows the monster to a warehouse, but when he steps off the skateboard, he starts feeling weird again. Spellbinder confronts Chase, saying Chase will soon be under his control, but Chase says the monster is wrong, so he tries to blast Spellbinder. However, Spellbinder is able to block the blast and send one of his own to Chase. At that point, the other Rangers arrive and activate Dino Steel before engaging the monster, but during the fight, Spellbinder is able to block all the Rangers' attacks with his cape. Chase rejoins the fight and tries blasting Spellbinder, but the monster again blocks the attacks before Tyler tries to distract Spellbinder, only to end up as a human shield. Tyler tells Chase to blast Spellbinder, but the monster takes control of Chase's body and orders him to shoot Tyler. Fighting with his body, Chase drops his Morpher and collapses in pain, saying something's wrong with his head. Shelby and Coda then spring into action and are able to get Tyler away from Spellbinder, who tries to blast the Rangers, but Riley steps in to block the attack. Riley then blasts Spellbinder with his Dino Morpher, but the monster disappears, so Tyler goes to check on Chase. Chase strokes Tyler aside and says he needs some space, before we cut to Sledge yelling at Spellbinder for not taking control of the Rangers. Sledge orders for Spellbinder to be locked in solitary, but Spellbinder says that his spell on the Black Rangers needs time to grow, adding that once it does, Chase will help Spellbinder get the other Rangers under his control. Sledge tells Spellbinder that he needs to only get him one Ranger to earn his freedom, warning Spellbinder that if he fails, Sledge will pluck him for dinner. Back at the lab, Tyler, Shelby, and Riley tell Miss Morgan about how their weapons couldn't get past Spellbinder's cape, so she presents them with a new charger that will activate a weapon called the Dino Spike. Miss Morgan says the Dino Spike should be powerful enough to take down Spellbinder, but that it requires all 5 Rangers to activate it before Tyler takes the charger and the group goes to Chase, who is being examined by Keeper. Chase says he feels like he's losing control of himself, but that whatever Spellbinder hit him with seemed to go away when he was on his skateboard, so Keeper says it might be helpful to know where the pendant came from. Chase says Moana might know and gets up to go see her, but the others tell him to stay in the lab while they go talk to her. Chase tries to follow the others as they leave, but Keeper stops him, saying he is more of a danger than a help to them right now. Chase says none of this would have happened if he had stayed focused in the shop, but Keeper tells him that while he can't change his past, he can still learn from it. Cut to Moana telling the others about the pendant, saying it was forged in the darkest part of New Zealand, and that the Rangers must destroy it before Chase turns against them. Tyler says they have a weapon that could destroy the pendant, but that they need Chase to use it, so Moana says that Chase might be able to push the spell from his mind long enough for the Rangers to use their weapon if he stays focused. The Rangers doubt that Chase can focus on anything, but Moana says that Chase showed her long ago that he can stay focused when he needs to, and tells the Rangers about a time where Chase used his skateboard to save her pet cat. As a reward for his bravery, Moana took Chase into her shop where she gave him the black energem that bonded to Chase when he touched it.
So that's how Chase got his energem.
It's so easy for him. I froze in glacier for thousands of years.
When he's on his skateboard, Chase can push everything else from his mind.
That's right. He said the spell went away when he was on his board.
Kendall said Spellbinder's returned. And Chase? He's disappeared.
Wait, Chase is gone? But I thought that, we weren't even, he was with, how did that even, whatever. Anyway, the Rangers find Spellbinder in a warehouse with Wretch and Curio for some reason, and begin taking on the monsters in an unmorphed fight. The Rangers put up a pretty good fight, but are ultimately overpowered before Spellbinder starts blasting them with a pendant. Shelby is the only one who is able to dodge the blast, so Spellbinder calls on Chase and orders him to destroy her. Shelby tries to tell Chase to fight against the monster's spell, but Chase continues to walk towards her and even draws his Morpher, so Shelby grabs a nearby rolling board and rolls it at Chase. Since Chase is balancing on the board like a skateboard, he is able to break free of the monster's control and turns around to blast the pendant, breaking the spell. Chase congratulates Shelby Shelby on her quick thinking before Spellbinder gets up saying he will destroy the Rangers, who morph into action. The team then activates Dino Steel and gets ready to take on the monsters outside, but then proceed to fight the monsters in the warehouse. Riley and Coda are able to beat down Wretch while Shelby takes care of Curio, and Tyler and Chase take on Spellbinder. After they knock Spellbinder back, the Rangers decide to activate the Dino Spike Charger, which combines all their weapons into a spear that Tyler uses to defeat Spellbinder. Sledge causes Spellbinder to grow, so Coda tries to call his Stegozord, but before he can, Chase stops him, saying he's got a score to settle with Spellbinder before summoning his Parazord.
Power Charger, engage!
You asked for it! I almost had him. Chase, we summoned our Zords too. How about we combine your Parazord with the Dino Charge Megazord? Come on, we'll have awesome new powers.
Wait, I'm not sure about this. You really think we're ready?
You guys broke me out of that spell. Now it's time to return the favor.
What? But Shelby was the one who did with the quick thinking and forget it. Tyler, Riley, and Chase then form the Pararaptor formation of the Dino Charge Megazord, and after an oddly drawn out fight, the new Megazord takes down Spellbinder for good. With Spellbinder gone, Sledge becomes angry because he lost such a huge bounty, but he finds the pendant among Spellbinder's remains and tells Wretch to save it since it might have some magic in it. Back at the restaurant, Moana apologizes to Chase for causing him so much trouble, but Chase says it's okay since he proved to the other Rangers that he can focus when he needs to. Which doesn't make any sense, but I'll get back to that in a bit. The two say goodbye to each other before Coda tells Chase it's his turn to clean the floor, and even though Shelby says she'll take care of it since Chase left halfway through last time, Chase takes the mop from her, saying he has a plan to focus better. Chase then proceeds to use his skateboard to help him clean the floor, and the episode ends with Shelby discovering that it's actually Coda's turn to clean the floor, but Coda makes a joke about Chase needing to concentrate on the schedule. This episode not only fails at being a worthy follow-up to the last episode, but it is also a disappointing character piece when compared to how well the show has been characterizing the other Rangers. Where in the last 4 episodes I understood who Tyler, Shelby, Riley, and Coda were as people, I can't get a good read on Chase's character at all from this episode. The only thing that this episode told me about Chase is that he's a really good skateboarder, and while you can argue that the scene of him saving Moana's pet cat shows his bravery and selflessness, take a look at his reaction whenever he finds out that he saved her cat.
Oh, Tabitha. Oh, you're safe.
I just risked my life for the most beautiful little kitty.
Also, the writing is really terrible in this episode. Chase says near the end that this experience showed the other Rangers how well he can focus when he really needs to, but that makes absolutely no sense given how he broke out of Spellbinder's control. I could see this message working if Chase used his own willpower to break free of the spell he was under, but he didn't. Shelby broke him out of it. Shelby knew that if she got Chase on a skateboard, he would be concentrating so hard on keeping his balance that he would focus on that rather than what Spellbinder was telling him to do. Shelby is the one who showed quick thinking and courage in this episode, not Chase. There is also zero explanation for how Chase was able to leave the underground lab once he was fully under Spellbinder's control. Keep in mind, the other Rangers left Chase with Miss Morgan and Keeper. Miss Morgan makes all the Rangers weapons, so she most likely has security of some kind to protect the lab from attack, and Keeper is a space wizard who knows magic. And even with those two guarding him, Chase was just able to leave with nobody noticing? Really? Curio is also a weird out-of-place addition in this episode. I don't mind him being in the background on the ship since he was made for Poisandra, who is mysteriously absent in this episode, but I had no idea why Sledge would send him with Wretch and Spellbinder to fight the Rangers. I get Sledge wanting to give Spellbinder some help in capturing the Rangers, but Curio is a monster that was made so Poisandra wouldn't be bored. He wasn't built to fight the Rangers, so why would Sledge put him in that situation? Lastly, the Sentai footage seems really off in this episode. Many times the movements of the Rangers either don't make sense, or the writers will try to put in dialogue that doesn't fit the story in order to make them make sense. Overall, this is the worst episode of the season so far. While the action sequences are good and the new Megazord was fun to watch, those moments ultimately can't save the episode from its poorly written script and bad use of Sentai footage. And I just hope next week we'll have something more to offer so I can forget about this disappointment. I'm Nick, aka Iron Man 1993, and may the power protect you.